Okay, now I have some buttermilk. All right. So add a little bit of buttermilk, just enough so that this will be moist, but not, shouldn't be too wet, so that it won't bake up correctly without that. Okay, now we're getting there. Now we're getting somewhere here. This is almost ready. It'll be just actually, okay, this is the right consistency. You see how this is? Got this? All right. So, there you go. Now I take a little bit of butter, and I get my baking pan, and I will coat this baking pan just lightly with butter. Okay. Now normally in most cornbread recipes you'll see eggs. I don't use the eggs. The eggs do two things. One, they're a leavening agent. They help the bread to rise, and they're also a binding agent, hold it together. Okay, I don't use it. So my cornbread comes out just a little bit different. But with this soup, this will be this is more like what they used to call the old spoon bread. You know, I'll just spoon it out of here. Anyway, let me put this in the oven. That will bake. Takes maybe 20 minutes or so. And now you can see, well, yeah. Now in this New England chowder, see how this is? Okay, see, let's see if we can get the right angle here. You can see how this is starting to thicken up. It's not really, it's not really heavy, but it is getting a little thicker. Okay, it's also the vegetables. I can tell the vegetables are starting to soften up and get done. This Manhattan chowder is catching up, so it's doing well. So okay, there you have your chowders. Now the bread's in the oven, and in maybe about half an hour or so, that bread will be set. You can test it the same as you do with a cake or any other soda bread. You know, a toothpick. You put a toothpick in there, and the toothpick comes out clean, then your bread is done. Okay, and then you let it cool, and as it cools, it'll pull away from the sides of the pan a little bit. It'll be easier to take it out of the pan when the bread is cool, as opposed to when you first take it out of the oven. It's difficult sometimes to get it out of the pan, but those are little hints. Anyway, bake it at about a 350 degree oven, and it should be okay. Sometimes it'll get a little brown on the top, and sometimes not. So I'll take a break, just a second or so, and then we'll let that cornbread bake. You know, come back and we'll put some bowls of soup together. Okay, soups are done. So I'm going to get these soups and bring them over to my bowls. Then, geez, these are hearty soups. All right, I'll set these here for a second. Get my cornbread out of the oven. Pull this over here. All right, now I'm going to do what I told you not to do, which is serve it right after you pull it out of the oven. And this cornbread, you'll notice, is a little bit different from your normal, your everyday, what you think of as cornbread. This is what they call a spoon bread. And so what that means is it doesn't slice into even slices. You know, actually, in a way, this is like New England polenta baked in the oven. Never even thought of that till just this second. Okay, so here's what we do. Take this out. it doesn't come really in slices. It comes more or less in a almost like a cornmeal mush, baked cornmeal mush. Okay, so pull this out. Get a couple of small slices in my bowls, and then we'll start with the Manhattan. You can see how everything is cooked together. All the vegetables are nice. This is a very chunky soup. This is almost a stew. Okay, there's your Manhattan chowder. And now the New England, which actually the New England maybe is dearer to my heart. I don't know. I like this. Now put that right over there and give it a couple of minutes. Let the soup and the cornbread, let the cornbread absorb the soup a little bit. Just let that come into, let the flavors blend, right? And what you're going to end up with is a nice meal. Just a perfect Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. It's a perfect lunch, this is. Oh, I just cleaned that up. Now look what I'm doing. Oh well. Okay, I'll do this again. Set this all up. All right, these are hearty soups. Now you have your, everyone has a preference. Do you like tomatoes? Do you like cream better? Doesn't really matter. They're both equally good. And if you prefer, say, a French bread or an Italian bread, something of that nature, whole wheat bread, or what you can get, I don't know if you can get that around here. You can get the, it's a canned Boston brown bread, they call it. That is good. I don't know how they cook it in the can, but it's good stuff. We always had that at the holidays, you know, around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Always had a can of bread. Sounds funny. Anyway, these soups, perfect for January, February, when you're a little bit tired of the cold weather. You have these soups, you don't care about the cold. You're all set. So, I appreciate your tuning in to Vegetarian Kitchen, and I look forward to seeing you again. And I hope you get some enjoyment out of these soups like I do.